Okay, this is going to be a quick introduction to Turtle Graphics. It's a two-dimensional graphics program used by Python 3. Okay, so I'm running, my operating system is Ubuntu, and I'm going to show you how to do it in Ubuntu, but also I'm going to show you how to do it in Windows 10. Alright, so in Ubuntu, when you install Python 3, there is a library required by Turtle Graphics that's not installed by default. That library is tkinter, and to install that, you type in the command at a command line sudo apt get install python 3 hyphen tk. Okay, so now that that's installed, if you install Python 3 on Windows or Mac OS, this is installed by default and you don't need to do this extra step. Alright, so here in Ubuntu, I have a command line open. I'm going to navigate to my desktop, and I'm going to open the default text editor in Ubuntu. It's called GEdit, and I'm going to create a file called intro.py. Okay, so this opens the default text editor, and for a default Turtle Graphics application, you always need to do two things: import turtle, and then turtle.done. And that is a function call, so you need left and right parentheses. Okay, so I can save this file, and we see once I save, the file appears on my desktop. That's good. I'm going to close this, and when I edit this in the future, I'm going to switch to my favorite text editor, which is Atom, but I wanted to show you how to use GEdit to start with. Alright, so we're on our desktop, and we can execute this program with Python 3 command intro. Okay, so we see a window opens. That's the Turtle Graphics canvas. Okay, and there's nothing really happening here, right? We just have two lines of code, so we can close that window and the program exits. So now I'm going to open the Atom text editor at my current location, which is the desktop. And here we see we have our file. Import turtle, turtle.done. So to create a turtle, I'm going to have a variable name. I'm going to call mine Dawn, and I'm going to reference the module turtle that I imported, and in that module there is a class defined called turtle, and when I instantiate that class with left and right parentheses, this will create a turtle object, and I'm going to store that in my variable called Dawn. So Dawn is the name of my turtle. So I'm going to save this file, and I'm going to run it in Python 3. Now we see this little character in the middle of our screen. That is our turtle, and we'll see him a lot as we draw things. Alright. So generally speaking, there is setup that you need to do when you start a Turtle Graphics program, and then you have actual drawing that takes place. Okay, so let's draw something interesting to start with. If you notice, the turtle character on our canvas was actually an arrow, and it was pointed to the right. So he has a direction. So I can say Dawn.forward 100, and he will go forward 100 pixels. I can say Dawn.left 90, and he will turn left 90 degrees. Then I can say Dawn.forward 100, and it will go forward 100 pixels. And then this last step is the cleanup. Okay, so you kind of have these sections in your code. So let's save this and see what we draw. Okay, so we went forward 100 pixels, we turned left 90 degrees, and went forward 100 pixels. Okay, so that's good. Now, let's say we want to change the width of our pin. Okay, so Don the turtle, every time he moves forward, he's got a pin that is dragging the ground, and wherever he moves, he draws a line behind him. Okay, so I can change the pin size. I can say Don.pin size, and I can set that to 5, for example. And I can say Dawn dot pen color, and I can set that to blue. And this needs to be a string value. Okay. So I changed the width of my pen to 5 pixels and the color to blue of my pen. Alright, let's go back and run. And we see it runs very quickly. Now it starts drawing almost immediately. You might want to have a little pause in there. Okay, if you want to have a little pause, you can import time. And then before you start drawing anything, you can say time.sleep and just give it a little 1 second pause before you start drawing anything. And that way you can kind of see from start to finish the turtle draw things. Okay, so that just gives it a nice little pause in there. So what we want to try to do is we're going to try to draw a square, and the square is going to be 200 pixels by 200 pixels. And we're going to fill the square in with the red color, and we're going to outline it with a 5 pixel blue line, just like this. Okay. So keep in mind we still have our turtle here, and he's still facing up. So we're going to make him turn to the left, and then come over here 200 pixels, turn to the left, go forward 200 pixels, turn to the left, go forward 200 pixels, and then turn to the left and go forward 100 pixels to go back here. Okay, so that's what we're going to type in next. So we pull up our, we'll close the canvas and pull up our code. And we just have Dawn.left 90. And this time Dawn is going 200 pixels. So Dawn.forward 200. And we want to do this 2, 3, 4 times, and this last time we're only going up 100. Okay, so remember we start in the middle of the screen and we go forward 100 pixels, then we turn left at 90 degrees and we go up 100 pixels. So we should be at the top right corner of our square. Then we go we turn left 90 degrees and go forward 200, left 90 degrees, forward 200, left 90 degrees, forward 200, left 90 degrees, and forward 100. That should get us right in the middle of our canvas where we started drawing the square, not in the exact middle of the canvas. Alright, so I didn't save. Let me go back and save. Control S. Close the canvas and run. Alright, so there we go. We've got this nice square. Now there's a problem here. We've got this line in the middle. We don't really want that, right? So as I said before, our turtle has a pin that he holds down as he walks on whatever path you tell him to walk on. So what we can do is we can tell Dawn to raise up his pin when we first start out. All right, so these first lines, when we go forward 100 pixels, and then that first line, we don't want the pin to be down. So you can say Dawn.pin up, and that will lift up his pin. Then he'll move, and then you can say Dawn.pin down. Okay. So now this is actually the drawing part. This is just moving Dawn into position, and he won't draw any line now. So if we save this and we run this, close our canvas. See, he didn't draw that little line there. Alright, so we've got our square that's 200 pixels by 200 pixels. That's good. And we have a 5 pixel size of our pen. That's good. Now what we need to do is fill in the color of the square. We want it to be red. Okay? So up here in the setup, we're going to set Dawn's color, his fill color, to red. And then I have to tell Dawn when to start keeping track of what he's going to fill. Okay? So let's say we start here, Dawn dot begin fill. Okay, and this is where we go left 90 degrees and we go up 100 degrees, and left 90 degrees and forward 200 degrees. Okay, and let's just try this for a second. We're going to say don.endfill. So this is before we've completed our entire square pattern. At this point, when we end the fill, don should be in the top left corner of our square. Once we go forward 100 pixels here, we'll be in the top right, and then once we go forward 200 pixels there, we'll be in the top left. All right? So notice what happens with the fill when we run this. Okay, so we started the fill here, we went up 100 pixels, we turned left 90 degrees, went forward 200 pixels, and then we ended the fill. So when you call end fill, it automatically closes the shape from where you started it and then fills in the middle. Okay? What we actually want is I want to finish drawing the square and then call end fill, and then the whole square should be red. Alright, so let's close this and go back to our code, and we just want to copy that and paste it down here. Don.endfill. Alright, so we run that, we open the canvas, and we have a red square with a blue outline. Okay, so that's all there is to this code to start with. And I'm going to pull over Windows VM, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so on Windows, Windows hides the extension of your files. Okay, so go to View and make sure you have checked file name extensions. Otherwise, your file name extensions will be hidden and it will be very confusing. Okay, so what I want to do here is right click on my desktop. I want a new document, text document. And because I have the extensions showing, I can see that this is a .txt file. That's important because I'm going to make this a Python file. And I'm going to call this intro.py, just like my other file. And it gives me this warning about the file extension, and that's fine. Okay, and since I changed the file extension, Windows now recognizes this as a Python file. This is the Python graphic, the marketing symbol, right? So what I want to do is I want to open this with a text editor, and in Windows you probably want to use idle unless you have something else installed like Atom. Notepad is not very good for programming, so you definitely want some other kind of text editor, and idle is installed by default when you install Python. So we'll just use that for now, and it opens up this text editor, and what I can do is go back to my Linux system. I'm going to select all with Control A, copy everything with Control C, and then go into my virtual machine and paste everything I have here. Okay, so this is the entire program that we just wrote. I'm going to save this, and there's two ways I can run this. If I'm running idle, there's a run option, and I can just click run the module. And it opens up the canvas, and we draw the square, and it fills it in red. The other way I can run it, which is the way that I prefer, is I open the command line. I'll have to change directories to my desktop, and in the Windows command line, to list out the contents of a directory, you use the dir command, and there's intro.py, so I can say now in Windows the command to run Python 3 is just Python. Okay, there is no 3 at the end of the command. And to double check that you're running the proper version, you can say Python -- version, right? And it says Python 3.8.0. There's also a command py, and if you type py-3, that will make sure, if you have multiple versions of Python installed, it'll make sure you're running Python 3. Okay? Then you run Python, remember, not Python 3 in Windows, it's just Python, and intro.py. Oh, I'm in the Python interactive mode. So I ran Python up here, and it automatically put me in the interactive mode. That 3 greater than symbols is the giveaway that you're in the Python interactive mode. I have to exit that. Now I'm back to the Windows command line and I type Python and intro.py. Okay, so that runs the program. Alright, and that draws our square. So that's the intro to Turtle Graphics on Linux and Windows.